I'd like to take a moment today to introduce Renee Rosenberg, an experienced positivity pro, career coach, and licensed mental health counselor. Welcome, Renee, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much, Jeffrey. It's my pleasure to be here. I'd like to just say to those of you who are on now that please feel free to use the chat. I will be looking at the chat throughout this presentation. And if there's something that I miss, I know Jeffrey will see it. So use it, ask your question, and enjoy this presentation. All right, so let's begin. The talk today is about purpose and passion. Purpose and passion, something that we really need to be very much aware of in our lives to have a fulfilled and happy life. And the journey of purpose is really the reason for your journey. Purpose is the reason, and passion is really the fire that lights your way. So they go together. People always ask me which one comes first, and you might have a theory, those of you who are listening. However, what I found in doing my survey with my clients and my friends and my colleagues is that there's no definitive answer which one comes first. If they align with each other is really the most important part, and you've got to have both of them, and that's what's most important. So whichever you feel comes first, that's fine. You can keep that theory of yours, but as long as they're both there together is what really makes a difference. So I've done some research on this topic because it's a very important topic to me. I feel that we can't have a happy, fulfilled life at any age, particularly as we get older, if we don't know what our purpose and passion is. And I found out that way back in the Middle Ages, the Apostle Paul in the New Testament was one of the first people who actually talked about having a desire and deep faith for his calling of teaching people to share his faith. And so it goes back really, really a long time. And there are people throughout history who we can look at as role models who really shared their purpose and their passion. There was Gandhi, Marie Curie, Mother Teresa, Da Vinci, and Martin Luther King. And probably you could even think of some more and some others that have been very instrumental throughout history who maybe have helped to influence you to be more passionate and to know what your purpose is. Okay, next. Jeffrey, slide, please. Thank you. So the passion is really about your emotion. What are you feeling? What's important to you? What do you love? What do you love to do? And purpose is about your calling. What is it that you want to be doing that will make you happy? Purpose and passion are meant to increase your engagement, your fulfillment, and most important, your joy for life, your joy for being. There's a Japanese word. Many of you who know me know that I use a lot of Japanese concepts and Japanese philosophies in my talk and in my practice. And ikigai is really your reason for being, and that's your purpose and that's your passion. Why do you do things? Why do you get up in the morning? What makes you happy? And it's really what makes you authentic and gives meaning to your life. But I'd like to mention that meaning in your life and purpose and passion can really change. So it's very important to keep assessing yourself, keep redefining yourself, and keep reflecting on what's important. And I would like to read to you something written by Carl Jung, the psychoanalyst, that really states this very beautifully. Wholly unprepared, we embark upon the second half of life. We take the steps into the afternoon of life. Worse still, we take this step with the false assumption that our truths and ideals will serve us as before. But we cannot live the afternoons of life according to the program of life's morning. For what was great in the morning may be little in the evening, and what in the morning was true will at the evening become a lie. I love this quote because it really explains how important it is to keep assessing yourself. A self-assessment, a reflection, a looking back at your life periodically through the different stages of your life. Don't stop when you think you've got a passion and a purpose and you're living it. And suddenly you think that I'm not feeling this. I'm not feeling so happy. I'm not feeling the joy, but it's my passion and my purpose. Maybe it's not, because as Carl Jung tells us, what was our passion and our purpose in the morning of our life is not the same in the evening. So you must keep, it's the most important thing that I can tell you in this presentation today, that you must keep assessing yourself and finding out what's real and what's important. Jeffrey. Passion, passion is essential. Why is it essential? It's essential because it improves your well-being, it increases your longevity, it brings meaning to everyday life, it buffers you against burnout and depression, and it creates intentionality, it gives you confidence, it helps bring you fulfillment, happiness, and joy in your life. All of this has been researched already by so many people. Passion and purpose has become a very important topic lately, where people really feel they need to stay happy, they need to find joy, and they need to keep themselves motivated. And so this is really a wonderful way to do it. And I'm looking at this 90-year-old yogi who decided that he was going to become a yogi at 90 and practicing yoga and standing on his head. So this is his passion and this is your purpose. His purpose might not be yours, but this is his. So find yours and figure out what it is. Next. I think we missed one. Oops, we got to go back a little bit. Your call. Okay, there we go. Thank you. They're all important slides, but I want to make sure that I don't forget this one. Joseph Campbell talked about following your bliss, which is another way of saying find your passion, find your purpose. And he said, follow your bliss, and the universe will open doors where there were only walls. It'll open up things for you that you hadn't imagined before, because you'll be feeling this sense of joy and comfort and authenticity. And I like to look at nature as a way of actually opening up doors and following bliss. And the Japanese word for walking in nature and being in nature to help you find what's important in your life is Shinrin Yoku. So see how you can begin to look where you can find your bliss to open up the doors where maybe were only walls before. Next. Happiness is not something ready-made. It comes from your own actions. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about that as we go on in this presentation. But the actions that you take are so important. If you don't take action, then you can talk about things, but they might never happen. And Maslow also said that a man can be what a man can be, he must be. He must be. So if you have a passion, if you have a purpose in your life, remember that you need to take action and manifest it, make it happen. Don't just think about it and dream about it, but take your action. And then someone else who you know said, find your peak of happiness in different stages of your life. So in different stages of your life, you will find that you have more of a peak of happiness. And this is Maslow's self-actualization, saying that we have to raise above to create what's really important in our life, and to be happy and fulfilled. His top of his pyramid, which is his self-actualization point. And this is your peak that you're looking at to get your happiness. Next. Your calling, as Richard Leider calls it, or your bliss, as Joseph Campbell calls it, comes from a result of turning your purpose and your passion into action. As I mentioned before, if you don't do anything, if you just dream of it and you just think about it and you're not going to manifest it. It's not going to happen. So turn what you think about that you want to try, and it might not work out, but just try it. Try and take action. Your job is to rediscover what resonates deeply and to make that your guide in your life moving forward. And I really love this picture because these people really manifested what was important for them. And that was to be a volunteer to the planet. And it might be volunteering for you. It might not be. It might be something that is more introspective, something maybe that's beginning to learn to play an instrument, or maybe becoming an artist, something that's very personal and very beautiful. And that's really what passion and purpose is. It's very important for you to really listen to your heart and know what comes from there. Next. And William James said that we have to think happy, we have to feel happy, and then we act happy. So when you take an action that's happy, and to go back the other way, we feel happy and we think happy. So they're really interchangeable, I think, all of these. And it's very important to think, how can I stay happy? What can I do that motivates me? How can I bring out my purpose and my passion? Next. So I'm going to ask you who are on this program with me, and thank you all for being here. I see some friendly and familiar faces. And I'm going to ask you, are you actually looking to find what matters in your life? Have you really done that? Have you sat down and thought about, what is my purpose? What is my passion? Let me see in the chat, please, if you don't mind, to just let me know. Hi, Wade Lynn. Nice to see you here. Hi, John. You have. I'm sure you have, John. That's great. How about you, Sheila? Have you had a chance to sit down and think about it? Diane. Okay, well, this is your time now to start, Diane. I know how busy you are, but see if you can think about, as we go through these slides, how you can start to begin to look at it. And for many people, and the reason I picked this slide is that so many people that I work with and so many of my clients have been looking beyond themselves. They've been sitting on the wall and thinking, okay, what shall I do now? What's really important? But they're on this wall and looking out into the distance to find the answer. But the answer is not out in the distance. The answer is actually here. It's here in your heart. That's where it matters. And that's where the answer is really lying, waiting to be discovered. So next. Next slide, please. Jeffrey, I think you're busy thinking about decluttering.
Do you see
Okay.
a few more comments in the chat?
Yes, I do, but I want to get to this slide first. Thank you. And then I'll get back to the chat too. Thank you all for joining the chat and for entering your thoughts. It's really good that we all share with each other. And it's really good that you share with the chat where other people can see you, so that you're putting it out to the universe, putting it out to the people here in this program, and others can read and you can share and feel better about that rather than keeping it inside. So Jeffrey, I see that you've been decluttering, though. That's a very good thing. So the key to finding your purpose, finding your passion, and what matters in your heart is really, it is the key, is finding what matters is your happy place of purpose and passion that lies inside. And this is a quote, my quote. You're welcome to use it, but please give me attribution if you do. The key to finding what matters, your happy place of purpose and passion, lies within. And to discover both purpose and passion, you need to do it through self-assessment. Most important, to sit down with yourself. And I'm going to give you some tips and strategies to move forward to be able to do that. Wade Lynn, I see that you say it's been a struggle. It is a struggle, absolutely. And Sheila, the action has been slow. Okay, slow is okay. It's all right. It's okay to be slow. Sometimes it's good to be slow because it's more contemplative and it gives you some time to think and to really examine what it is that you want to take action on. So that's okay also. Next. Okay, so here's 6 strategies that I'm going to give you. Actually, I think I added one on today. So I think I'm going to give you 7. Yeah. But I've got 6 up here to give you your smiley face and to find out your purpose and your passion. Are you ready? Let me see a yes in the chat. Are you ready for that? Good. Okay. Okay, good, Sheila. Yay, good, Wayland. Yeah. All right. So next slide, let's get started. You're ready, Jeffrey. Good. Next slide then, Jeffrey. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is you need to notice what energizes you. Energy is a very powerful clue. And I've always felt that that's one of the first clues. You know, what gets you excited? What gets you up out of bed in the morning? As I mentioned earlier, the Japanese ikigai is what's your reason for being? What's really important in your life? What gives you that energy and that excitement? So you're going to pay attention to activities, conversations, or topics that excite and energize you. And if you haven't before, just pay attention to that now. And what I advise you all to do, if you can, if you have some paper in front of you, you might just want to jot down some of these. And you might want to even jot down some of your answers, or maybe do it after this presentation. What energizes you? What excites you? Things maybe you haven't even thought about, but something that happened yesterday or the day before or last week. All of that is what's hidden within you, within your heart. And this is what we're looking for. Sometimes it is hidden and it has to be rediscovered. So what energizes you is the first one. Hi, Anna. Good to see you here too. Okay, number 2, Jeffrey. Let's see what comes up there. Oh, before we get to 2, this is important. Notice what drains or bores you. You don't want to be like these 2 little creatures, these little sweet dogs. If it drains you or bores you and you're doing it, then look at it more closely and say, why am I doing it? Is this giving me energy? Is this really what matters? Is it something you can stop doing or change or alter? Because you don't want it to take your energy away. So also in noticing what energizes you, notice what drains you and notice what bores you. Notice what you don't want to be doing anymore. Particularly for those of you who are still working, is there something within your work that you're doing that is just not making you happy anymore? See how you can change it. See how you can energize yourself with something that will make you happy. Next, please, Jeffrey. Identify your core values. Very, very important to know what's important to you. And for each one of you, your values are different. They're never the same as anyone else's. Some of them might overlap, but they're really yours. They're very personal and they're very important for bringing happiness to your life. So, your principles, so what do you wish to live by? These are your values. And I listed some here. There's so many more that you can come up with. But if any of these really resonate with you, write them down. You know, is it creativity, kindness, boldness? Oh, I have creativity twice. I must like that one a lot. I think that's my value. That's why I put it in there twice. Learning, justice, adventure, beauty. One of my values is beauty. I know when I was working, if I didn't have a room with a window that I could look outside and see the sky, I wasn't as productive as I could be at my job. So I always needed to try to get a room with a window. Very important to know what your core values are, what really makes a difference in your life. Understand them. They can help clarify the kind of life that will make meaning for you and make you feel happy. So if some of these are your core values, write them down. If you have another core value that you want to share with us, put it in the chat. Any questions so far? And if you want to find a list of core values, you can go into the internet, go to ChatGPT, go to Google, and say, please send me a list of core values that I can be looking at. They will send you a list, and then you can check off values that you think you hadn't thought of. Relationships, Karen, good. Okay. Jeffrey, fairness, yes. Yeah, these are very important to make sure that you have these in your life. So first we've got energize. What energizes you? We have core values. Let's see what number 3 is. Listen to your quiet longings. How many of you journal? Let me see a yes in the chat or a no. Oh, Anna, I see your core value resourcefulness. Lovely. That's a very helpful value for what you want to do going forward. Okay, you don't. Okay, Diane, something maybe to think about. Journaling is very important, particularly now if you're thinking about looking at what's important in your life and looking at your purpose and your passion to make you happy. So, number three is to listen to your quiet longings. Your purpose resides in your heart, and so does your passion. It whispers to you, and you need to listen to it. Sometimes it's easier to listen to it when you write it down because then it becomes real. You see it on paper, you see it in writing. So sometimes journaling could be very important. Yep, Anna, good to start. Yeah, you do need to. Journaling is something that I really recommend to everyone who's really looking to understand things that are going on in your life, but also meditation and walking in nature. And I mentioned the Shinrin Yoku, which is being in nature, can be very revitalizing, and very important to keeping your mind still and focused. And even to meditate when you're walking in nature can be very powerful. And always ask, what have I? Ooh, okay, I can't see this now. But you can see it. Always ask what is important to you and what makes a difference in your life and what I could wish I could do. What have you always wished? What have you always wished you could do? Is there something that you thought about but didn't think you could do it? Maybe you could do a part of it or a piece of it or change something that would make you happy. But be sure to write all of this down in your journal and then review your journal. You can write in a journal. You should have a set time for writing in your journal so that becomes habitual. You can do it, I think, in the evening is probably the best part and the best time to relive things that have happened during the day and thoughts you might have had. Or you might want to write in your journal after you meditate. That might also be important for you. But do keep that journal and do keep those notes. Um, Revitalize, John. Good. Okay. Waylon, you love nature. Very good. Near water. Okay. Well, we've got water on both sides of us in Manhattan. So I know you're in Manhattan, Waylon, and you can go and look at the ocean. Oh, you can go out to the ocean also. You could take a ferry to the ocean, or you could go to the Hudson River or the East River. There's wonderful nature even in urban settings. You can find it everywhere, even just looking at the sky and looking at the clouds and the cloud formations that are always changing and always beautiful. So listen to your quiet longings. Listen to what's whispering to you in your head and in your ear and telling you this is important. And it may take a while for you to hear the whisper because whispers could be very soft. But if you listen carefully, I think you'll be able to hear it. Let's see what number 4 is. Identify your innate gifts. What's natural to you? What comes natural? What are things that you don't even think about, but that you do well? Your strength, your talents, things that people have complimented you on. What are they? What are your buried dreams? Do you have things that you've thought about, but kind of brushed aside and said, no, I'm not going to do that now. I can't, I'm too busy. What are they? Write them down in your journal. If they pop up into your mind and into your head, write them down so you don't forget them. What do people come to me for? Ask that question. What do people come to me for? Why do people ask me questions? Why do people want my advice? What is it that you give to people? Think about that. And when do you feel in flow and when do you feel confident? When do you feel that you're doing something that's just so easy and makes you feel just so relaxed and so happy? What is that? What could that be? So I'm going to share with you a story about myself, how just recently I was speaking at a conference the American Society on Aging in Orlando, Florida. And it's all about aging and caregiving and social work, working with others, and taking care of people who are over a certain age. And in hearing some of the people talk, because sometimes that could also do it, going to a talk, going to a lecture, going to a conference. I was speaking, but also I went to many of the workshops. And hearing the people in the workshops, I started to write in my journal what made a difference, what resonated with me. And what I realized was that one of my innate gifts is really calming people down and listening to people's stories and helping people. So I've started, maybe this is a little strange, but I've started helping people on the street, people who look like they're lost, people who, who can't find their way around, tourists in New York City. And it gives me a great feeling of satisfaction and a great feeling of peace. And I'm going to journal some more and think about this and see how I can use this thought that I have now that I want to be helping others. One of my values, my core values I've discovered is caring and kindness. So I'm going to be focusing more on that in my life and seeing how I can change the direction of what I'm doing. Because for me, I think now I'm working on my new purpose and my new passion at this time in my life. So what is it for you? What are your innate gifts? What do you see happening? Be sure to write down whatever thoughts come up because you'll forget those thoughts. Put them in your journal and review your journal. So we've got identify your innate gifts as number 4, and let's see what's number 5. I always love this picture. Children being happy, genuinely happy. When were you genuinely happy? Oh, wait, Lynn, I'm just looking at your question. Does a purpose have to be impactful, meaning to change the world around you? No, it doesn't. Your purpose is really what's important to you. It could be a very small thing within your life that you want to do that becomes your passion and your purpose. If you're happy, and I've always believed this, if we're happy, if we are happy in ourselves, then that happiness is actually shared with others. Happiness is contagious. Smiling, laughing, all of that, it's contagious and it helps others to be happy. So you're not maybe feeling that you're changing the world, but if you're doing something that really makes you happy, and it's your purpose and it's your passion and it matters to you, then others will feel that and it will make them feel happy also. So it's a very contagious feeling that we have, how we can help others just by helping ourselves. Very important. So let's look at number 5. Excuse me, I need to take a sip. Oop, I'm not up to this one yet. Number 5, please go back. Not number 6, number 5. Back one. There we go. Thank you. So you want to think back in time in your life when you truly felt happy, back into your childhood. You want to be peeling back the layers of your life. This is my new book, actually, that's coming out soon, which I'll be sharing with all of you because I'll have all of your emails. And I hope to have a launch in August. And John, I know you're on the call and I know you're going to push me to make sure I do that. Yes. Okay. So peeling back your life, peeling back the layers, going back to your childhood, going back to your adolescence, going back to some other times in your life that weren't so recent, where you felt truly happy and you were proud of an accomplishment and you felt deeply fulfilled. What were you doing? Ask yourself these questions. What were you doing? Who were you with? And did you notice any themes or patterns in any of these moments that brought you this great joy? These answers can really help you now really come to some answers for where you can be in finding what matters in your life now. So keep going back and looking at other things that have happened, peak moments. And these are the peak moments that Maslow talks about when he talks about his self-actualization. What are those top moments that made you the happiest, that made you feel most fulfilled? And they could seem silly to you. but they're not. There's a message in those. So write those down also. Keep those in your journal. Actually, the next slide, which is my peak moment that I wanted to share with you. This is when I noticed I was happiness. And I realized this by going through, and I always suggest this to my clients and to all of you here today. If you have pictures of yourself from an earlier, or just go back and look at recent, earlier, it doesn't matter. Pictures when you were smiling, pictures when you look like you were really happy, a genuine, real smile. And I found this one, which goes back a number of years. My hair was still long then, but it certainly was not this color that it is now. And I was quite young, and I always had a passion for being outdoors. And I used to always stop and smell the flowers. And so I still do. I still do. And I realize that this is what matters to me, to stop and smell the flowers, to look for the good, to look for the good in things rather than the things that make me unhappy, to look for the things that make me happy. So look for photographs of yourself. Maybe you can get some information there. There's information and there's answers everywhere to these questions when you're mindful and you take the time to really look. Okay, number 7. Oh, sorry, this is number 6. I do know there is a number 7 coming up. Experiment. As I mentioned before, you need to take action. You can't sit and dream about something. You need to try it out, see if it works, see if it's okay for you. And for Jeffrey, for you to declutter, that's an action step. That's great. Very important to experiment, be curious, and try new things. Try new things, things maybe you haven't done before, but that you would love to do now. My friend Dara Lee, who I'm not sure is on this call now, I don't see her, became an artist in her 80s. And it's given her a great deal of joy and has found that that really is her passion now. And she loves doing what she's doing, and she does it online with instructors online. So you don't even have to go out to really change or take action. You could do it at home. Things are virtual now. There's so much happening on the computer. But experiment, be curious, try new things. And purpose can reveal itself in an action. Maybe you don't even think you're doing something, but you're doing it and you feel, gee, this makes me happy. Now, if that makes you happy, think further about why does that make you happy? What is it are you doing? Is it a new hobby? Are you volunteering? Maybe it's a new project you're working on at work or at home in the house. Maybe you're building a piece of furniture. Maybe you're remodeling a piece of furniture. Maybe you're knitting, or maybe you're sewing a new outfit. Is it a new project? Is it new people that you're meeting? Are they inspiring you? Exploration opens the doors that you didn't realize were there. Very important. And it opens up the doors that you didn't know were behind the wall that maybe has been stopping you. So experiment, be curious, don't be afraid. Fear is really what stops most people. It's a big obstacle. I put it into quotes. It's a big obstacle that really stops people from moving forward. So get over the fear, take some small steps and try new things, experiment, and be curious. Any questions so far? Oh, Jeffrey, you're not going to go skydiving. That's okay. Maybe some other people on this call might, or it's just the idea of doing something that maybe you were afraid of doing before. Skydiving is certainly something that we might not all strive to want to do, but is there something that makes you fearful that you were afraid to do? Can you try that? And can you do it in small steps? There's a Japanese philosophy called Kaizen, and Kaizen says that if you take small steps, then it's much easier to reach your goal. Small steps so that you can see progress. And with each step, award yourself with the progress that you see. So it might not be skydiving, but maybe it's learning to play an instrument. Maybe it's learning to sing or to join a chorus, or maybe it's I have a client who just recently decided to go cut an album, and really something she's always wanted to do. And I wish her great success with that, but she's so happy doing that. And so, what is it? What is it in your life that you can take a small step to do? Something that you've been fearful of, and just do it in small increments so that the fear won't be as great as trying to do it all at once. Okay, I think there's a number 7 that I've added on to here, but I may have, yes, I did. All right. So this one, I really love this one for finding your purpose and your passion. And this is to listen to the music within you. I've talked about the whispers that are in your heart. Well, this is the music that's within you. Music is known to conjure up memories. It's known to help you think about things that you thought about and did in the past. And it stays within us. So, what songs do you sing? What songs make you happy? And who are you dancing with when you think about your music? Are you dancing with others? Are you dancing with people who are like yourself? Or are you dancing alone? If you're dancing with others, maybe that's a message that you want to keep working with people, that you want to join a group, that you want to be part of an organization. If you're dancing alone, maybe you want to be an entrepreneur. What's the music within you, and how do you dance to that music? And what's the song that you hear inside of you that you're singing? Oh, Jeffrey, you sing to your plants. Okay, and the carpenters. All right. Well, think about that. I think that's a very good insight. Think, what does that mean? How is that significant in your life? Some things that we think are so small really are very significant, and we just forget about them. We don't pay any attention, and you're missing an opportunity to maybe find what really matters and what really can be the purpose and the passion in your life. Sheila, I know you love to dance and you dance alone. All right. So, Sheila, maybe this is something you need to really think about if you like, but I know you like dancing with people too. So, it's really not so much being an entrepreneur and being by yourself, but maybe it's a combination of community and private time to really find what matters and find what your purpose and your passion. Anyone else? Anyone else have a thought about the music? This might be something a little new and a little different for some of you. Hmm. Anna, okay. You love dancing. Do you dance by yourself or do you dance with others? Be more specific. All the time with both. Okay. Well, Anna, I know that you're thinking of becoming an entrepreneur. That's important then to enjoy dancing with people in a community and enjoy also being an entrepreneur. Wadeland, solo. Okay, Wadeland. Well, that's an important. Then perhaps for you, what brings you purpose and passion is more things that are within yourself and working with yourself and really taking care of things within yourself might be more important to you, which would be fine. All of this is unique for each one of you individually. No one is the same. No one has the same purpose and passion. It's what's in your heart. And we all have different hearts and different things whispering and telling us, this is what I should be doing. This is what makes me happy. Next. Okay, so people ask me, I really want to find my purpose. I want to find my passion. I want to find what matters in my life. Can you tell me? Well, I can't really tell you. You can need to really do the steps that I've just listed, and you need to really find out what it is for yourself that's most important. What lights you up? What makes your heart sing? What makes you want to dance? What really makes you happy? Won't have all the answers right away because it's really not easy sometimes to find. And as I mentioned earlier, and as I read to you from Carl Jung's beautiful poem, that sometimes what made you happy, what was your purpose and your passion earlier in life, what he called the morning of the life, is not the same in the afternoon, your middle of your life. And then maybe as you get older, your passion also will change in the evening of life. So think about what is important to you, what makes you happy, what brings you joy, what energizes you. Think about what bores you also, things that you don't want to do. Think about what people say to you, what people come to you for, what people ask you for. Take action, try things out. Don't just dream about it. Don't just think about it. Try it out. See how it works. See if it really makes you feel happy and joyful. If you feel that you want to keep doing it, is a really good way to know if this is your purpose and passion. And it might surprise you. Things might come up for you that you hadn't thought about before. Certainly for me, as most of you know, I've been in career counseling for many, many years, and it has always been helping people. But my passion now has changed a little bit, and I'm really starting to focus on caring and kindness and helping people to have a better life is really what my focus and direction is. And I'm starting to take action, but I'm not sure what my action will be. So it's not quick, and you don't have to all the answers right away, but continue asking the questions and keep your heart open. And most of all, keep your mind curious. And as I mentioned earlier, keep a journal, keep writing down things that come up because you won't remember them. And you can organize your journal any way you want. Sometimes people ask me, can I do it online? Can I keep my notes online? And if that's comfortable for you, that would be fine. But I don't think it's the best way. There's been a great deal of research that says that if you're writing actually longhand with a pen and paper, that you remember better what you've written. So I do recommend that your journal is a hard copy book or a soft copy or a spiral book, but that you're actually making your own notes in the book, not online and not on your phone, because so many people are doing that now, and it will not really last, or it won't be sticky. You want to keep these things sticky and in your mind. So I'd like to ask you from the points that I've given you, the 7 points, which one of them do you think you feel the most comfortable trying out and using today, tomorrow, this week, maybe? Is it what energizes you? Is it what other people say about you? Is it listening, meditating, listening to your heart, just sitting quietly? Is it journaling? What will what will be some of the ones? And if anyone would like to come off, at this point, I'm finished with my presentation, but I'm here for you. So if you want to come off silent and you want to say something or share something, please feel free to do that, and Jeffrey will let you on. Ellen, great. Yes, experiment and be curious. Experiment, small things. Just take small steps, nothing too big, and see what happens and see what it looks like and see how it feels. And if it doesn't feel right, if it bores you or it's just not really energizing you, then push it aside and try something else. Okay, Sheila, your innate gifts. Yes, I think that would be really important for you, Sheila, to look at what's really important to you naturally, what comes naturally. And I think also you have so many friends. Ask them, what are the things about me that really you find helpful? And see what some of them say and what some of them tell you. Hmm. Well, thank you, John, for being here. Oh, okay. You're going to turn your learning into action. John, I know that's going to be very powerful. And I applaud you for that. Yes. And I want to hear what some of those actions will be. That's great. And Anna, okay, realigning your values. Yeah. Very important. I know you mentioned a bit of that yesterday. And think about your values. What are your core values? Make a list and see how those resound with you during the week. Write them down and then look at them daily and say, is this important? Because sometimes, as Carl Jung tells us, what we think was important to us, what was a value to us, maybe a few years ago, or maybe even yesterday, might change today. So look at the values that you've written down and say, are these still valid? Or do I have new values, new core values that really make a difference to me now? That'll be very significant for you. Oh, good, Sheila. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Yes, thank you for your good wishes for my book. It'll be out in August. Those of you who know me, I've been saying this for a while, but now I'm actually putting it out to the world. August is the launch date, and all of you here will receive an opportunity to be on my virtual launch. And if you're where I am physically, you will also get an invitation to a physical launch. Great. Karen, did you raise your hand?
Yeah, it's easier for me to talk than type.
Okay. Hi, Karen.
I I type very slowly. So I guess the two things I would want to focus on is like what energizes me and like kind of just pay attention as I'm going through my life, like what
Mhm.
activities or conversations or topics or whatever. But then also to listen to the quiet longing. So find enough quiet time to just listen to. But it's hard to, like things like when I wrote something earlier saying that, when I was in my 20s, I was like a bundle of energy. When
Ah,
and now there just isn't the same energy and enthusiasm, so it feels harder to murkier, I guess. It feels harder
yeah.
to
Well, you know what? It's different. It's different kinds of energy. So your energy in your 20s was probably very physical. You could do a lot of things and you can get out and you wouldn't get tired as easily. Now your energy is a more of an inner energy that you're looking for. What energizes you? What sparks your mind? What gets you excited? So it doesn't have to be the same kind of energy. And that's why I read this Carl Jung poem, because we're not the same as we were in the past. We're not the same as we were when we were younger. We're not the same as we were a few years. We're who we are today. And where we are today is what's important. So think of what's happy for you today and what gives you energy today. What makes you happy? And I see you're thinking, so write them
yeah.
down. You don't have to come up with an answer now because this takes time. It's not always a quick fix because we're really looking at things that are very deep inside of us. And sometimes we thought we knew what it was, but it doesn't really work now. It might not be the right thing. So take your time, don't rush through it, and know that this is a process.
But I do know that you're right, that the answers are within us. They're not over that wall. They're definitely,
Mhm. Yeah,
you have to
yeah.
slow down enough to listen to yourself.
Yeah, you have to slow down enough to find the right door. Because there is a wall that we face now, but there's a lot of different doors that we can open. So which is the one that will be the best one for you? So do your
Thank you.
journaling, take your time. And if you have we're going to go on to the next slide. My email is on there, and I think my phone number. Um, Jeffrey, can we put that back? And
Hold on, I'll put it
thank you for
back in a minute.
Karen.
Hold on.
Please feel free to contact me. Any questions? I know it's here somewhere, right?
It's coming.
Okay. So Karen, is that clear for you? I hope so. Just
Yeah, I mean, it's not a magic.
no, it's not a magic wand. Life is not a magic wand. And so purpose is the reason you journey, and passion is the fire that lights your way. And I love that as a quote. So think about, Karen, the purpose, that's your journey. And passion, what is that fire? And all of you here today, what is that fire that lights your way? And you need them both. They both come together, they intertwine. And which one comes first? It's like the chicken and the egg, I think. I've never really come to a conclusion which one comes first, but they are together and you need them together. So anyone that needs to reach me who doesn't know me already, here's my contact information, my email, and the phone number where you can send me a text if you like, and I'll get back to you. Any questions you might have. So any final questions? Anything that you see, Jeffrey, up there? I don't see anything.
How would you start journaling, meditating, walking in the woods, or doing a self-assessment? If you're a beginner, what would you say to someone who hasn't tried any of
Oh,
this?
okay. Yeah, that's a good question. You know what I would say? Just start. Just get started. Decide which one of these you want to do. You might not want to do them all at once. You might want to start with one of these. So which one can you do easily? Maybe today, oh gosh, there's fire engines out there. Maybe today it's raining in New York. So maybe and you want to not go for a walk in nature or walk outside. Even walking outside, movement is very good. Just to move is important. Move your body, move. You've been sitting here, all of you, for an hour. Just get up and stretch your body and move. And think as you're moving, what is it that you would like to do now? Which one of these is most important? Maybe if you already have a book that you can write in, maybe you want to just start journaling. I think that would be where I'd say to start right now, because we just finished this presentation and there are some things maybe fresh in your mind. So you might want to start that way. And when the weather is nice, you might want to think, well, how can I go out and just walk around and look at some trees? Things are starting to bloom. There are flowers out. At some little West Pocket parks in New York and Manhattan. Urban settings, you can find nature. Meditating, you might want to sit now before you open your journal. If you do have a book that you can write in, you might want to just sit very quietly now and meditate for a while. On what we've just talked about, on things that you've heard, on things you might have taken note of. Or you might want to decide to give me a call or contact me and let me know what it is that you're working on, but not sure how to start yourself. And I can help you with that a little bit. So it's up to you, Jeffrey, up to you to make that decision.
Someone mentioned the various parts of the day that you had covered, and I wonder if you can go over, like, what are the best highlights of different parts of the day
Oh,
that we
that was
should be
John.
aware of? Well,
John, I knew you'd ask a question like that. All right. I always liked how you highlighted different morning, afternoon, evening. Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's more of thinking about which parts of the day, I was talking about it more parts of life. And what Carl Jung had said, that the morning is your youth, when you're youthful, and the afternoon is your middle age, and the evening is your older age. But also for our daily activities, which part of a day are you most active? Some people get up, and I've read actually reports and studies on this, on how people who are very successful get up very early in the morning and do all their important work then, because that's when they feel they're most motivated. But if you're someone who doesn't go to bed until very late at night, then maybe you're a night person, and maybe that would motivate you. So there are different parts of a day, and know which ones they are. If you can't get up in the morning because you go to bed late at night, then don't get up and work in the morning. Don't think that you have to. Don't listen. I think the important part of all of this is listen to yourself, listen to your own journey, listen to what's really important to you. Always in your heart. Always in your heart. And that's what will bring you the most joy and most satisfaction and help you to be the most productive and effective in your life and on your journey of finding what matters. So I'll see you all again when I have my book launch, or maybe before, of another program at Coming of Age. Thank
yes,
you,
I hope we can
Jeffrey.
have you after that
Yeah.
book comes out for sure.
Oh, yeah, that'll be exciting.
Thank you
So
so much.
giving this presentation has really helped me find my purpose and passion. So I want to thank all of you for being here today and for giving me this opportunity, and Jeffrey, for you giving me this opportunity. Thank you.